engines running, the riders at the gate. You said there's nothing quite like a Supercross start, Ricky Johnson.
This is the moment of truth. I've raced cars, I've raced Baja, I've done all these different things, but there's nothing like lining up the best guys in the world. You have 75 feet to determine who's first at the first turn.
Ricky Carmichael won the fastest heat and picked first. He took the third gate. He'll be right beside Jeff Emig, who won last night. Albertine and Hughes were third and fourth to pick. The rest of the field, Ezra Lusk, Yogi trying to keep it on two wheels today. Lamson there, the defending champion. Hoffman has to start well back as a result of going through the semifinal. And as we round out the field of 15, it's all going to be about the start and the number 9 and number 11, who will start side by side in the third and fourth slots. Engines revving, riders ready. There, the two contenders were underway. Into the corner. Who's going to square it off? We've got one down in the back. Looked like Yogi had a moment, but it's Emig who gets there first. And what happened to Carmichael? He's back and forth.
Never really got a clean shot at what happened, but there you go. Jeff Emig just riding that wave of emotion and back out front again.
I take that back. Carmichael is way further back than that. It is Emig on this incredible roll in front of Ezra Lusk second. Greg Albertine in the third spot. Emig trying to get away from him early as he sets this blistering pace.
When you get a hole shot like this, if somebody doesn't come up with the pressure on him, if they give Emig a chance to relax out in front, they'll never catch him. If Yogi and Albie don't get up there and start hammering him, he's going to start to relax, he's going to get into a groove, and they'll never catch him.
Damon Hoffman is in fourth spot. The start, we knew it would be critical. Let's take one more look at it, see if we can figure out what happened to number 9.
He's coming.
Just got hung up in the bat.
Yeah, two guys, everyone's in there. That's why I talked about the moment of truth. Everybody's side by side. Everybody wants that one position. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
And once you get hit, knocked off line, odds are 2 or 3 more guys are going to whack you. And Carmichael, as a result, is so far back that he's a non-story. And it's Lusk trying to pick up the tempo here. He's not losing any ground, but he's certainly not closing it up very fast on Emig.
No, he's not. He's running a good pace, but he can't wait. Right now, Jeff Emig has a little bit more snap. He's running a little bit quicker. When they get into those whoop-de-doos, he's jumping in about 3 more than Ezra, so Ezra's got to pick it up now.
We race, of course, in the absence of Jeremy McGrath, who elected not to race here. The pit consensus seems to be that he wanted more start money than the promoter was willing to pay. He told Ricky Johnson over the blackjack table that the real reason was he wanted to focus on the World Championship. But this guy, Ezra Lusk, is the one who's been keeping the pressure on him. Ooh, there's a bubble for the 199 of Pastrana, who's getting his first race with the big boys, and he got into the back end of Huffman.
When it's your first race like this, I've been the young guy who made it into the show. I'm wondering if Travis has exhaled yet. I mean, he's just got off a jump contest. Now he's going right into one of the biggest races of the year. He's got to relax and just get into his groove and do his own thing. And
racing with the guy who won the $100,000 last year. I mean, he's not like he's out there with a bunch of slouches at this point. We've narrowed it down to the fastest cats, and they're having at it a glimpse at Carmichael and at the gap. Definitely Lusk and the number 8 of Greg Albertine trying to close that gap.
Yeah, right now it looks like they've sort of zoned in on what Emig is doing. Where they're watching his lines and they're picking which one works better or worse, and now they seem to have closed up the gap. But I'm telling you, what did Emig say? This is the time. If there has to be contact, there's contact. Emig doesn't mind a war.
All right, it's going to get exciting. The top 3 have broken away. There's no question what happens if Emig wins it, or even if he falls back to second or third in this group. On the combined scoring, he would still win the overall. But if in the heat of battle he finds himself on the ground, that $100,000 could slip out of his grasp as quick as one roll of the dice here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And for Yogi, there's nothing to lose. He was 14th last night. Gas it up and go. Get as many zeros on the end of that paycheck as you possibly can. He has absolutely nothing to lose.
Well, see, now, when you're in a situation like Emig, he's running as fast as he can. And he'll hear Ezra get closer and fall back. And he doesn't know if Ezra's just running his line faster, if Ezra has a different line that he's trying. So you know, Lusk is in the best position for the long run, but like I say, they let Emmett get comfortable out there. He's going to be gone.
Hoffman, for the record, is trying to make this a four-man race as he brings the Suzuki ever closer to his next year's teammate Albertine as he makes the switch of teams. The guy who won the money last year has struggled a bit, had to come through the semifinal, but he got a good start. There's Damon in fourth spot, and he has closed up that gap a little bit, not a lot, but he's in contention if something starts happening with the top three.
Damon's been really smooth all week, and if you notice, he doesn't look like he's charging really hard, and that doesn't mean he's going fast. He's just so smooth. That's his riding style. So he's making time by not making mistakes.
Second, won it for him last year. Both the guys who won races last year are gone from the 99 program. Robbie Reynard had a fall last night, injured his shoulder, and of course Jeremy's not here. Who fell back there?
That was Travis Pastrana. Man, the kid's been working his tail off. He got in the main event, but he just dropped off the right side of the whoop-de-doos and went down, so he's going to have to work his way back up.
We'll see a lot more of that 16-year-old kid before his career is over. He signed a deal with Suzuki, a support deal, and wanted to get their hooks into that kid early, and there's talk of factory participation in freestyle coming for the future. A lot of interesting developments there possibly for Pastrana.
Yeah, Pastrana, Suzuki, I think, wants to get him sort of away from the jump contest and get him more into a racer because he is such a great little racer, and he's gotten hurt on a few of the big jump deals, but he's showing great valor tonight.
He's gone from the picture for the moment. It is this guy, Jeff Emming, number 11, who walked into the MGM Grand, grabbed it by the throat, and said, I'm going to take the money out of this joint. I haven't seen anybody yet that can take it away from him. Welcome back to Vegas. Emmett continues to lead. Yogi hangs on to second spot. Albertine took a shot at him during the commercial, got up alongside, could not get around. Damon Huffman had gotten a bit closer than he is right now to the lead trio, but now it looks about the same as it did when he left. He missed a little bit of action there, but the outcome of it was no outcome at all. They're all right back where they started.
Well, Dave, what was happening is Albie made a charge, got up, actually got past Lusk, but Lusk blocked him and then sort of held him up a little bit, and now has yanked himself back out in front. So let's hope that Lusk keeps that momentum going, that Albertine lit the fire underneath him and get him going towards Emmett.
You're getting an occasional look here at number 18, Ryan Hughes. That's the Honda that's back there at the head of that straightaway behind Damon Huffman. He is a lap down after getting involved in that first turn crash. So Hughes, who had such high hopes coming off a fourth place finish last night, doesn't look like it's going to happen here in the finale of this richest motorcycle race in America, the U.S. Open.
Everything has changed from yesterday to today. The track is a lot tackier today. The jumps have taken different shape, and now they're taking a whole different rhythm.
Got a glimpse of number 9 Carmichael. After the bad start, Ricky has come to 5th. He is the length of this straightaway behind the fourth place man Damon Huffman, who is now increasing his pressure on Greg Albertine. He said, somebody got to make something happen here, boys, or our buddy up there is going to take all the money home. Let's go get him.
Unlike NASCAR, wouldn't it be good to have a debris yellow around bunch them all back up and let them go at it?
Well, Emmett is not interested in hearing anything about that, I guarantee you. Traffic begins to become an issue. He's got to start lapping guys now. The first that he gets to is Casey Lytle, and how you do that can be a big issue, although Lytle's going to move over and give them lots and lots of room to go through. You sure don't want to crash the leaders in a $100,000 race.
Yeah, that's what that yellow and blue flag is waving out there, letting the lap rider know that the faster traffic is coming up behind him to give him some space. These guys are racing for a lot of money.
No change in the top 4. Huffman had moments of brilliance. So far hasn't been able to turn it into a pass.
Yeah, he's been falling back just a little bit, but Damon's not the type of rider to hold back and then throw together a charge. I think he's kind of settling into where he's at.
Looks like he's going to be the fourth place guy. Question maybe whether Carmichael can catch him, because Ricky, he seems to have found some pretty good speed. Albertine up alongside, bumps into Yogi, takes the second spot, costs them both a fair bit of time in the process, but at least it changes the mix and gives you the potential that that second and third place battle might be able to pick up the tempo.
Well, let's hope so, Albie. Hopefully he was getting held back by Ezra, but here comes Ezra making a shot back at him, but gets off rhythm. Now maybe if Albie can carry this momentum and chase down Emmett, he could have a shot at him.
Greg Albertine, the reigning AMA 250 Outdoor National Motocross champion. Finally, after all those years of trying, won 5 South African championships. He is native South African, went to Europe, won 2 Dutch titles, won the 125 and 250 World Championships. And after all that, you might think it'd be a piece of cake to come to America. But believe me, winning championships in America is never a piece of cake.
No, it's not. I met Albie when he's about 17 years old. He's got a run here on Emig. What's he going to do with it? He's putting the heat on him,
Oh,
Dave.
man, I'll tell you what, no doubt that Yogi was holding him up. Once Albertine got clear, even though it cost him both some ground, he has definitely run Emig down.
He is, but, you know, and Albie's a really, really nice guy. But if he knocks Emig back far enough, he could win this 100 grand. So what's going through his head?
Well, probably how far back do I have to knock him?
Right there, Ezra takes another shot at him, trying to get back at him. So right now you got these 2 riders that are going after each other, but they've picked up the tempo. And here Emig is just out in front running a strong, fast pace and not making mistakes. So hopefully this battle carries him forward and doesn't pull him back.
I think maybe if I were Emig, I'd be thinking, you know what I ought to do? I ought to let both these guys go by me. Sit there in third and cash my check. Because if he goes 1-3, neither Lusk, number 4, nor Albertine, number 8, can catch him in the overall result. But I'm not sure that he's sitting out there doing that kind of arithmetic either.
Way too big of an ego for Emig. He wants to go out and win in style. Even though it was his fault that he lost his fractured rod, he wants to show Kawasaki, I am still the guy. You made a mistake in firing me. So he wants to win every chance he can to show his fans, to show the people, to show everybody that the pro is still here.
And how about the privateer Yamaha? I mean, he goes and jumps on that motorcycle, takes it to France. He's top American in the first round of the World Championship for Supercross. 3rd place finish there. Comes here and wins everything. That's not bad.
You're looking at the king of the world right now, Jeremy McGrath, on pretty much the same bike. You know, maybe a little bit different specs here and there, but that Yamaha is a pretty easy bike to ride. Real comfortable. If you notice, Jeremy got comfortable on it quick, and now Emig has showed that it's a bike that you can, acclimate to very quick.
Here's Carmichael coming after Damon Huffman, trying to salvage, I don't think a podium is realistic as the laps wind down, barring difficulty among the top 2 or 3 guys, but he's definitely going to get everything he can get.
But we've watched time and time again here, Dave. Riders have gone down on their own, get over there, touch a hay bale, it catches them, throws them down. So anything can happen. So Carmichael is not out of the picture.
And remember, it's combined points. So from 2nd place last night, if he could go to 4th here, he could end up conceivably 2nd overall. Look at this. The challenge is there as Albertine is after Jeff Emig in a very big way.
That's good to see. I mean, he's made that ground back up. Now he's got Emig something to think about. Emig had a chance to relax. He can't relax anymore.
The laps beginning to wind down as Albertine comes after Emig, and Jeff's got to be thinking, man, how do I react to this? I know he wants to win everything out there, but mostly he wants that money. Albertine has the move. Emig lets him go. An unusual place to pass. First major pass we've seen there tonight. Emig definitely letting Albertine by there to, or at least not making an aggressive retaliation, figuring that the big picture has got 5 zeros on the end of it.
Sometimes when you're in the middle of the race like that, Dave, and you've been running fast and no one's challenged you, you think you have the rhythm to win the race. Then all of a sudden, Greg Albertine picks up the pace, comes in, throws the game at Emig, and now, look, he's pulling away from him. So Emig sort of settled into a pace that's now biting him.
Have another look at this and see, in your view, whether there was any possible retaliation that he could have made here.
Not really. He's pinched up against there. He had to let him go because his leg was up high. If he would have tried to push it, he would have hit the wall and gone down. So it was a very smart move by Jeff Emig.
How about Albertine? Looked like he was going to win it here last night. Remember his race with Emig, but then in that whoop-de-doo section, he smacked the front wheel into the face of the whoop, almost knocked the front end out of his hands. Emig was able to take advantage of that, get by him, and go on. And later, Albertine crashed, and as a result, ended up 6th on the night, but he sure had the speed.
We talked about that earlier. I talked with Greg, and he said he made some suspension changes. At this point in his race last night, his suspension had gone foul with him. He didn't like it. Right now, he's getting faster and faster, so if something happens, it's just going to be a freak accident. Greg Albertine looks strong, looks healthy, and looks very fast.
He has gapped Emig, but more significantly, Emig is holding holding his advantage over Yogi. There is the third-place Honda of Ezra Lusk. Damon Huffman has been caught by Ricky Carmichael, so fourth and fifth are still in play, and then the mathematicians will have to go to work, and the accountants to figure out how to split up the money, because remember, it is the combined points from the two nights that determine the size of your paycheck. There's a little dab of nightly prize money, but it doesn't amount to anything, and Carmichael wants to get around Damon Huffman in the less than 3 laps now that remain.
He's not quite in striking distance. Well, as soon as I said that, sure enough, he pulls right in, puts a little jab in on him, so there's going to be some fire there shortly.
Let's see if Albertine gets the white this time by. This may be the start of the last lap. We are very, very close to the conclusion. Remember, it's a 38, 39-second lap around this joint, so less than a minute from now, barring disaster, Albertine will see the checker, and more significantly, Emig will be headed for the bank.
I'm really happy for Greg Albertine. He's been struggling at Supercross ever since he's come here, and this is his first American victory. It's not an AMA event. I mean, it's not a national event, but it is the U.S. Open, so this is going to do great things for Greg Albertine going into next year's Supercross.
His career pattern has been get injured in the Supercross series and foul up your chances to win the Outdoor National. This year he stayed healthy. He won the AMA 250 National Championship, and now here in Las Vegas, Nevada, he has won the second round of the U.S. Open. And there is the man who just won $100,000, Jeff Emig, 1-2. Welcome back to the big leagues. Fans on their feet for Albertine and Emig, the two big winners in the second round of this U.S. Open. What an exciting weekend it's been. Here comes Huffman, the guy who won it last year. And how did Carmichael get around him at the end? I don't think he did he?
Never got around him. Look, we didn't see it, but it looked like Carmichael bobbled because Hoffman had quite a distance on him.
Hoffman comes up to congratulate the man who succeeds him as the king of the MGM Grand Hotel, and the celebration is about to begin for Jeff Emig, who has just picked up a 6-digit paycheck here in the city that loves a winner. We'll take a commercial break and come back and hear from the winner. It's a long way from Independence, Missouri to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, with an occasional detour along the way. But Jeff Emig has made the trip and now stands at the top of the motorcycle world as he picks up a $100,000 check. Let's go to Larry Myers.
With Greg Albertine, who, but for a mistake last night in that main, could very well have been the holder of that $100,000. I'll bet you'd like last night's race over again, Albie.
I sure would. You know, I felt so comfortable tonight, and I'm really happy to see Jeff up there again. You know, he's been through a tough time. I can appreciate that, and happy to see him win. But, you know, it was a great night. I felt really good, and just going to give me a little more confidence for the Supercross Championship next year.
What was your secret out there? Because you really caught fire.
Well, you know, I haven't done much Supercross training, so I've been losing wind and getting kind of tired. And today I just bided my time. I sat behind them for probably 12, 15 laps. I knew I was faster, and then I made my charge and, you know, got that little gap that I needed.
Congratulations. It was an outstanding ride, my friend. Let's go over to the man that is going to deposit $100,000 in the bank, and you and I are splitting that. Is that right?
No, Larry, I'm afraid on this race we can't. Maybe next year.
Congratulations. This has to be so self-satisfying to you.
Man, it is, and I tell you, I couldn't do it without part of my team, Tim Dixon and Tony Strangio, you know, for helping put this whole thing together and working towards the future as building our own race team. So, I mean, I owe so much to these guys, you know, for just getting everything ready, getting the bike ready and everything, because this bike right here was built in my garage.
You told me that earlier, and I didn't believe you, but I believe you now. You said it twice. Did you let Albie by?
Well, I made a small bobble in the tunnel, and I knew that he was going to be right there. And since it's so tight, you know, and I felt him rubbing on me earlier, I just went ahead and braked. I was like, go on by, you know, and he could hear me because I said, oh, and he's like, man, I heard you. I knew what was going, you know, but I had to just let him by, pacing, because I knew where Ricky was at. And I mean, Greg was riding so strong this weekend. He really wanted it after that crash last night. He wanted to win that race tonight, so I wanted the $100,000.
Dave, I'm going to kick it back to you, and I'm going to negotiate with this guy to split that money.
All right. On the way to the bank, take a look at the results from, first of all, our Sunday round of action here as Emig settles for second spot on the night, but that'll get him the big check. Albertine, your race winner. And in terms of the overall results, that's what matters most. That's what's going to give Jeff Emig the big payday. Quick final thought, if we could, from Ricky Johnson.
Unbelievable event. I can't wait till next year's Supercross season. These two guys, Greg Albertine and Jeff Emig, got confidence to go for Jeremy McGrath.
For Larry Myers, Ricky Johnson, I'm Dave Despain saying congratulations, Fro, and Greg Albertine.